Hey guys, Rob here from City Tonight Productions. Hope you're having a great day. I wanted to do a quick update on some issues that I've been having with my QCon Pro X and my two extenders as of late. I am running Logic Pro 10.7.4. Lately I've noticed I can't pan, I can't multi-pan. I'm having a lot of trouble. I've gone through a lot of trial and error today. Actually over the last couple days, so I wanted to do a quick video and show you what I did to resolve this issue. I believe I have it resolved. So first and foremost, I should say that I believe it's not an issue with the boards or the firmware on the boards. I didn't touch any firmware. I really truly believed it was Logic Pro. Something was buggy, a setting somewhere either changed or became corrupt, because again, I've had no other issues with this board. Everything's been great. I just can't pan. I can only pan one at a time. I'd have to hit the pan surround button twice, and I could only use one channel to pan. So it was a total pain in the ass. I didn't want to have to reinstall Logic completely because I was worried I would lose project files and channel strip settings that I've spent years, cultivating, etc. I didn't want to run that risk, so I'm really glad that I was able to find this solution, and I hope it works for you. What I did first was in Logic Pro, I went into the Logic menu, preferences, and I did reset all preferences except key commands. Now, bear in mind, if you're going to do this, take note of your current preferences before you do that, because you're going to have to reset all of your preferences again, from 24-bit recording and what your interface is and latency, bit depth, everything. So make sure you write that down. That's a good tip. So I was trying to remember back when I first bought these units. I had an Intel-based iMac. And when I was installing these units, I was advised by the Icon website to use Mackie Control for all three boards, not Mackie Control for the QCon Pro X, and then Mackie Control extenders for the extenders. When I was having issues back with firmware and everything, talking to Icon advised me to reset up everything as a Mackie Control and then Mackie Control extenders. So I've had that now for 4 or 5, that's been about 6 months now. I kind of went back to that one. I never had issues with these units until I set it up that way with extenders. So I decided to reset them up in Logic Pro, which you will see as Mackie Control. All three of them are a Mackie Control. So Mackie Control 1, 2, and 3. And then you set your fader bank offsets to have everything line up. 24 tracks here, so tracks 1 to 24 going from left to right. Please leave a comment if you want any kind of information or kind of instruction video on how to orient your boards. I'd be glad to help. Anyway, I believe I found the solution, and I hope this helps somebody out there, because I was pulling out my hair trying to figure this out, but I knew it was something in Logic, and I really believed there was a corrupt file or something just wasn't right with Logic, because something changed, and this didn't change, and the rest of the studio didn't change, and to me it just felt it was a software issue. So it was not able to pan any more than one encoder at a time. Now Logic Pro, as you'll see, is the latest version of the Logic 10.7.4. As you can see here in the MIDI controller setup, I have 3 Mackie controls. Now I've got 3 boards. I've got the QCon Pro X, I've got the XS extender, and another extender. So this is Mackie Control, originally a Mackie Control extender and a Mackie Control extender. And I think that was the issue. I set up the 3 boards as just straight Mackie controllers, not control extenders. So as you can see, my first one, now right here, this middle board, that's the Pro X, and I have it on version 2.07. That's the input and the output ports. That's great. Fader bank offset at 8, because this is now channels 8 to 16. The first board, which is the extender, channels 1 to 8. There's no fader bank offset, obviously, and that you will see is the XS1. That one's still on version 2.06. I'm not updating that to 2.07 because I fried this board doing that originally, and it took me a while to get it back up and running, so I'm just gonna leave it. The third extender here is a Mackie Control, not a Mackie extender in Logic, and I've set that up as my XS3, and those are on version 2.07. That fader bank offset is 16, so from left to right, how I like to work, XS1s, that's channels 1 to 8, and it's corresponding with the audio. And the channel strips down here, right? So you've got channels 1 to 8, you've got channels 9 to 16 plus the master, and it continues through here, 9 to 16, and in here, 17 to 24, and so on. So that's great, everything working. Again, back to the original problem I've been having. I could only use the one encoder at a time, and I would have to hit the pan surround button twice, and I could only do that. I could not do multiple. So using this layout with all Mackie controllers, I believe I've solved the issue for any of you Logic users who are having issues like me. I imagine there's at least somebody else out there who's had this problem. Now I've got the Logic panel board installed, the hard panel board, just so you're aware. But when you hit track, I get now a choice of volume, pan, track format, input, right? So now all I have to do is select pan, and I can pan multiple, and you'll see them on the screen moving. I don't know if you can see that. Multiple at a time without selecting the tracks. I'm back up in business. Fantastic. I can pan on the fly. It makes mixing so much faster when I need to pan stuff. So it's absolutely perfect. Hope this helps. Again, Logic 10.7.4. Anyway, you guys, I'm Rob from City Tonight. Cheers. Take care.